All right, one question I get asked over and over and over again is, what gear, ever since I started this channel, what gear do I actually use? What does my setup look like? I demo all these pedals, but what do I actually use? And I've had like 3 or 4 different versions of this video on my channel, but it's constantly changing, so I wanted to show you where I'm at right now, and then go from there. I'll start with guitars, then I'll go to pedals, and then I will go to amp, and then all of the other stuff, like strings and all that fun stuff. Alright, let's start over here. This is my #1 guitar that I use. This is an Epiphone Les Paul standard. It's a 2000, or so the serial number says, and the year that I bought it would indicate that. It's one of those ones that still says Gibson right on the headstock, versus the ones nowadays, they don't say that, they just say Les Paul or something on them. This actually has Gibson burst bucker pickups. I think they're the ones, or maybe the twos, I don't remember. But they're not your standard Epiphone pickups. These are loud, screaming monster pickups, and they're really nice. Everybody who's ever played it said that they just love this guitar. It's beautiful. It's like it's not your standard cherry. It's a darker cherry with a flame top. The back is that real nice dark color. I love this guitar. It sounds so good, and it feels good when you play it. My #2 guitar that I've just fallen in love with is this Telecaster. Sorry about the lighting on this. It is actually a Squier Affinity Telecaster in butterscotch. There's a lot that's different about this guitar, though. It doesn't have the black 1-ply pickguard on it. It now has a 4-ply tortoiseshell pickguard. I replaced the pickups with some Texas Specials, and some of the wiring. The next thing I have to replace is the knobs and the switch. The switch is real flimsy and I don't like it. The body is real nice. I think it's ash. The neck is really good for a Squier guitar. I redid the headstock to say Fender because it mostly is a Fender guitar now, except for the body itself. But yeah, I love this guitar. It sounds really, really, really good. It's got really hot pickups. It takes overdrive really well. The pickups that were in it before were just real thin sounding. So yeah, it fools a lot of people. They all think it's like some really, really super expensive guitar, and I think I paid like 130 bucks for it or something. My #3 guitar is this Stratocaster here. It's the Squier Deluxe Stratocaster. It's a beauty. I've actually reviewed this guitar on my channel here. There's a lot of really good features about it. It's got a satin neck, so it's really smooth. It's got Duncan designed single coil pickups, which are really, they're not as bright sounding as normal single coil pickups. It's got a dual point tremolo floating bridge. It's really nice. The body is rounded, more like an American Standard. Yeah, it feels like an American-made guitar. It's really nice. It plays like one too. It's the Strat I use for most of my demos. And then my 4th guitar is a Strat that I have pieced together over the years. It was my first guitar I ever owned. But I've redone it like 3 or 4 times. I've put new parts in it, all kinds of stuff. I've really distressed it and worn it out. I put 5 springs in the back. I don't really use a tremolo on it too much. It's got all American made pickups from an American Standard. It's got American made everything, switches and all that stuff. I couldn't find the little knob, so I put the old one back on it. It's got the nice pearl pickguard. I scratched it up a bit to make it look like I've had it for 20 some years, which I have, and then I redid the headstock and some other stuff. So yeah, it's a really nice sounding guitar. It's really loud. It's got some aggressive sounding pickups in it. I think the output's like 6 or 7 on it. So those are my guitars that I use. Let's go over to pedals. This is my pedal board. This is what I'm using right now. I'll probably change it up. Starting the The signal is the LPB1 by Electro Harmonics. It's a boost pedal. It's a real nice pedal. Only does one thing, boost your signal. It adds a little bit of bass to it, but that's good if you're using single coils. Go from there to the Electro Harmonics Big Muff Pi with tone and wicker switches. That's a fuzz pedal. It's an awesome fuzz pedal. Then I go to my Ernie Ball volume pedal. It's a volume pedal. From there it goes up, the tuner out goes the tuner, Boss tuner, and then to the wah wah pedal. It's a little squeaky, but this is a Dunlop Crybaby from like 1993 or 94 or something like that. It's got the face that looks like this on it. It doesn't have the black face and doesn't have the newer logo. It's got the old logo on it. So it still sounds really cool, even though it's like, I don't know, almost 20 years old. Then I have the, let's zoom in, MXR Dynacomp for my compressor. It's a pretty nice compressor. I will say it's kind of weird when you have dirty power going into it because it's really noisy, but here where I record all my stuff now, it's not, I mean, the power's real clean, so I don't have hardly any noise at all. From that I go to this GFS Electronics Twin Overdrive. It's a really cool overdrive. On this left side, the overdrive channel is it's like a modded TS9, and then the boost channel over here is like a TS808 by Ibanez, and it's supposed to be a boost, so it's a milder overdrive, and then the overdrive channel is a little bit heavier. You can use them together to get a nice soloing kind of overdrive. It's awesome. From there I go to a little heavier overdrive. I bought this and I wasn't sold on it at first, but now I just love it. It's this Cool Cat drive pedal. I think it's supposed to be like a full tone OCD clone. I played them side by side with each other and they don't sound anything alike. The OCD is a little heavier, a little fuller. This one's a little bit thinner, but it's good. It's a good overdrive pedal. If you don't have the $150 this cost me $20. It's got a nice blue LED. And then I go to the classic, the Boss DS1 Distortion. Most people hate this pedal. I like it because I know how to use it. Anyway, up here I go next to the Boss Super Chorus, and I don't really have it set up for the way I play it, but I just use it for some shimmery kind of stuff for my clean tone. Then I go to the DD6 digital delay. I don't think they even make this anymore, but I liked it when it came out. Then I go to the Holy Grail reverb just to soften up my tone a little bit, get a little bit of spring reverb. Sometimes I'll use the Hall if I want to go deeper. Alright, so that's my pedal board. And then I have some other pedals over here that didn't quite make the cut. And then currently I'm using a Fender Blues Junior 3. It's a really nice amp. It's really, it's great for what I do. I don't need anything bigger. I used to use a Blues Deluxe, and then I used a Hot Rod Deluxe and some other stuff, and I've landed on this one as being a nicer tone. So that's kind of my equipment. I use Ernie Ball 10 gauge strings on all my guitars, and I use an assortment of picks and stuffs. Yeah, that's it. My cables are all over the place because I don't have enough money to buy George L's, and I wish I did. And my flip-flops are Old Navy. And I wore some flip-flops because everybody's all complaining about my feet on videos, and I just say, you know what, deal with it. You didn't have to watch my video if you didn't want to. So, anyway, enjoy.